I have to ask you about that emotional press conference, General Kelly, your chief of staff. The way he came out and talked about his son and defended you, getting criticism from the Gold Star family, well, the media, really. Were you expecting that?
He is a very elegant man. He is a tough, strong, four-star Marine. You're a four-star Marine, you've got something special to start off with, okay? General Mattis, General Dunford also, but very few. He was so offended because he was in the room when I made the call, and so were other people. And the call was a very nice call. He was so offended that somebody would be listening to that call. He actually couldn't believe it. Actually, he said to me, "Sir, this is not acceptable. This is really not." And he knew I was so nice. Look, I've called many people, and I would think that every one of them appreciated it. I was very surprised to see this, to be honest with you. I spoke of the name of the young man, and it was a really, it's a very tough call. Those are the toughest calls.
Very tough.
These are tougher than dealing with the heads of countries, believe me. These are very, very hard calls. They're sad, and sometimes, you know, the grieving is so incredible. But he's just an elegant man and a wonderful man, and he is doing a fantastic job as chief.
The Congresswoman, Frederica Wilson, she said, oh, everything he said was because he's just trying to keep his job.
Yeah, he doesn't need this job. In fact, he didn't really want this job. He was so happy. You know, he's a military guy. He was doing this incredible job on the border and elsewhere. You know, he ran Homeland like nobody has ever run it. Down 78% at the border crossings.
It's incredible.
That's before the war. There's nobody close. You go to the original first day, there was nobody close to doing the job. And I said, I'd like to take you. How would you like it? And it's not that he wanted it. Actually, he would have preferred doing and staying where he was. He is a man that felt it would be important for the country. He does it for the country. He's not doing it for what he wants. He does it for the country. This is a very unusual man. So when she made that statement, I thought it was sickening, actually.
I just want to ask you about the border, and you've said you want a legislative fix for DACA. What else do you need to see in terms of the border?
Well,
what do you want overall?
We are working on DACA. We'll see if we can get something with DACA. We have to build the wall. All you have to do is look at what's happening in Mexico. We have to build a wall. Going to stop drug trafficking to a large extent. I mean, what's happening with drugs in our country, and by the way, in the world, it's not like we're singled out,
right.
But it's never been like this. And a lot of the drugs come through that southern border, and we need a wall. We're going to have a wall. We have to, I would like to do something with DACA, and we are negotiating right now with the Democrats. We'll see if we can come up with a solution. But I can tell you, I and the Republicans are very open to it. We have to get something in return.
We had Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Right.
He commended you. He congratulated you for decertifying Iran. Do you think you're going to get the Europeans to support you in terms of sanctions, in terms of not selling technology to Iran?
Honestly, I told them. They're friends of mine. They really are. I get along with all of them. Whether it's Emmanuel or whether it's Angela, I get along. I really like those people. I told them, just keep making money. Don't worry about it. We don't need you on this. You just keep making money. When Iran buys things from Germany and from France and from the various, billions of dollars, even us, they were going to buy Boeings. I don't know what's going to happen with the deal. We'll see what happens with the deal. But when they buy those things, it's a little harder for those countries to do something. Would they do it if I really was insistent? I believe they would. I told them, just keep making money. Don't worry. We don't need you on this one.
And on North Korea, is our policy with China just about what it does with North Korea, or do we have a separate policy with China for something else?
China has been, I've developed a very good relationship with President Xi. President Xi is right now going through his Congress, and it's going to be something very soon is going to happen.
Right.
That gives him something that few leaders of China have ever had, and I'm really good with that. And to be honest, when I told him this, I want to keep things very, very low-key until such time as he gets that. I want him to get that. I think he deserves it. He's a good man. But they have been helping us. They're closing off their banking systems to North Korea. They have cut the oil way down. Now, the banking systems we can see because it all comes through here, as you know. The oil, you can never really see what's going on, but the oil is way down. The oil is, they're doing a lot of things.
For the first time ever.
For the first time ever. There was a recent article that said I have the greatest relationship of any president, the two of us, and I think we do. I really do. I don't want to be foolish. He's for China, and I'm for the U.S., okay? So we start off with that. But we do have a very good, I would say, an exceptional relationship. And China's really helping us. And we'll see, with respect to North Korea, look, 93% of the things going into North Korea come through China. China is big stuff. I believe he's got the power to do something very significant with respect to North Korea. We'll see what happens. Now, with that being said, we're prepared for anything. We are so prepared like you wouldn't believe. You would be shocked to see how totally prepared we are. Wow. If we need to be. Would it be nice not to do that? The answer is yes. Will that happen? Who knows? Who knows, Maria?
You can't tell companies what to do, right? Are you sure they're going to get that savings in the taxes in terms of bringing that $3 trillion back and use it to hire people, or are they going to buy back stock?
Well, I think whatever they do, it's a positive. Honestly, whatever they do, it's a positive. Even if they buy back and they give people money, and the people are going to go spend the money, okay? And they'll, that's okay too. So, people have said that, oh, supposing they keep the money or supposing they buy back stock. Well, if they buy back stock, the money's going to people, and they're going to go out and buy a something. I won't say. I was almost going to say something, but I won't say it. We have minimum, in my opinion, $3 trillion, overseas. Money whether we're talking about. Overseas, or however you define it. In some cases, not necessarily totally overseas, but overseas. We have minimum $3 trillion. It could never come back. It's interesting. That's something that Democrats, for years, Democrats and Republicans agreed the money should come back. Who's not going to say the money should stay there, right? Everybody agrees. I would say unanimously, it was never done. It was never done because of lack of leadership, because of something. Now, it was not only the high tax, it was a very high tax. Nobody would pay it. I mean, unless you were desperate to get money, you wouldn't pay it. So it was a high tax. It was also a bureaucratic boondoggle. You never saw anything like it. You couldn't. I looked at the amount of work you had to do to get that money in, aside from the tax. Okay, all of that is going to be solved, and we're going to have $3 trillion, and I think it could be much more than that. We've been saying $2.5 trillion for years. You've been saying it. For years we've been saying $2.5 trillion. Well, it's not $2.5 trillion anymore. I think it could be much more than that, and it could be up to $5 trillion. We'll see. We're going to know fairly soon because, for the most part, with the deeming and everything else, it's going to come in very soon. I think it's going to come in very quickly. But there's, at a minimum, $3 trillion coming into our country, and that money is going to be put to work one way or the other. So it's a great thing. It's a great plan. There's never been anything like it. It's the biggest and it's the best, and I think you're going to be very happy and you'll be impressed.